Hi, it's Tom and Laura, and we're back again with another fine restaurant and establishment in Central PA. Today, we're going to talk about the Pine Barn Inn.
One of my favorite places to eat. So, Norman.
Yes, hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm glad to be here.
This looks delicious, and we already have some fire going. Tell us what we're going to be cooking today from the Pine Barn.
Well, we're going to be cooking some ahi tuna that's dredged in panko crumbs, just right in the crumbs, nothing added to that.
Okay.
And then we're going to be making a salad to go with it, with pad thai noodles and cucumber, scallions, and it's going to be in a hoisin, which is an oriental barbecue sauce that has cilantro and lime mixed in with it.
Now, Norman, since it's restaurant week, is this something special you're making, or is this something we can find on the menu at Pine Barn?
No, ironically, this was a special item that was so popular as a special item that we added it to our menu, and it has continued to be now, for the last 2 or 3 years, one of our most popular dishes.
Oh, great. Should we get
That's
started?
awesome. Let's get started because I love ahi tuna.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's start by making the salad.
Okay.
These noodles, as many people know, come dry, and you soak them and then steam them just for a short period of time. And these are rice noodles, so they are gluten-free. Since they sat around, it is now rice noodle ball, but we'll
We'll
see
fix
if we
that.
can
We'll
fix
it.
that a little bit.
So this is actually a healthier option on your menu.
It is in many ways a healthier option. And some people come in and they'll ask us just to sear the tuna on the grill as opposed to cooking it in the oil. So then it is, if you don't put the crumbs on it, it is gluten-free. So it's a good dish for people who have that issue or simply are following the gluten-free diet.
Great, sure, if you're looking for something a little more heart healthy, you want to stay away from the fried, that's an excellent option.
It is an excellent option. Then we have some English or seedless cucumbers, which of course really have seeds in them, but the seeds are tiny, small, which are good for a dish like this, so you don't have, with a homegrown cucumber, for instance, you'll have the big seeds in it. In this
Sure.
one, you have very little. And then some scallions cut up using both the whites and the greens of the scallions.
So now I just learned this. A scallion is the same thing as a green onion, right?
Same thing as a green
Okay,
onion.
all right, just checking.
But it's not really a
fancier.
direct relative of the onion. It is more of a direct relative of the leek than it is of the onion. And again, you'll find this in the Oriental section of your supermarket if you want to make it at home. It's hoisin sauce.
Okay.
And then we put some coriander, which is dried cilantro, and some lime in it to give it some additional flavor. And you just pour that in and give it a toss, and hopefully it will start to break up a little bit. If not, we'll do our best with it.
And if you wanted to recreate this at home, this is something, obviously we're encouraging everyone to go out to eat for restaurant week, but if you wanted to try to make something, it looks very simple.
Very simple. The best, whether you believe it or not, the best restaurant dishes are dishes that are relatively easy to make because you're making them so many times in a busy restaurant, and so the Bon Appetit recipes with 40 items and 60 steps, not something that a restaurant really wants to be dealing with.
The Martha Stewart recipes in
Right.
47 simple steps.
And so we'll take some of the salad, and we'll put it right on the plate.
So now that's a cold salad, so we're
This
not
is a
heating
cold salad.
that.
We are not.
Okay.
And let's get some of the cucumber and the scallions on top of it.
Great.
And now we're going to pan fry some tuna, and I might have a little too much oil in there, but we'll go along with it. And it's good to just drop a little bit of breadcrumb or something in there to make sure that it's not too hot or not too cold, for that matter.
Okay.
And then we take the tuna. Now tuna cooks very quickly, and you really, to enjoy tuna at its best, you want to eat it relatively raw.
Okay.
Or it gets very tough very quickly if you cook it too long. So this is something that really you want to be just browning it.
Okay.
Just browning it up. And the thing that people sort of have to get used to a little bit with eating tuna is it can be cold or cool in the middle and still be, that's at its most enjoyable. Of course, as a society, if you will, we've become comfortable eating sushi, and tuna is generally raw. But if you cook, this tuna in its fully cooked stage is yellowfin tuna that you buy in the supermarket in a can.
Okay.
So you really don't want to overcook it. So really, it goes very quickly.
That is quick, Norman.
Yeah.
Well, one would think like when you say the phrase tuna steak, you would have to cook it like a steak.
No,
And that's
no.
not true at all.
Right.
So now that was really only maybe 2 minutes total. It didn't
Right.
take that long at all.
Now let's hope it's cooked a little bit when I cut it open. And
Well, that looks perfect to me.
yeah, it is still pretty. But I mean, many people order it, rare, very rare, and that's the way it would be prepared. So it is going to be like a rare steak. It is going to be cooled to the, right from coming out of the, and then we lay that out on the plate.
That looks delicious. So this is something that is cooked to order in the restaurant.
Always cooked to order. And I mean, this is a dish that you will get when we say cooked to order. The rest of the meal, if you will, is prepared, and then they cook the fish at the very, very last minute.
Okay.
And then we take just a little bit more of the sauce and put it between the pieces of the tuna.
That looks delicious.
Wow. What a presentation.
And I've got a little bit. This is the dish as we prepare it at the restaurant. And really, if you're talking about something at home, this is the type dish that if you cook the noodles ahead of time, you could literally walk in the house and 15 or 20 minutes later have dinner on the table.
Not even,
Right.
especially if things were pre-chopped or, like you said, pre-cooked or
Right.
pre-steamed. Very easy. Now, is ahi tuna something that's readily available in our
Ahi
area?
tuna is available in any supermarket,
Everywhere.
generally
Okay.
frozen. You can get some tuna fresh, but any of the local supermarkets have the 4 or 6 ounce portions in their frozen section. And you pull them out, again, if you were going to have it for dinner, you pull it out when you leave the house in the morning. When you come home in the afternoon, it's all thawed out and you're ready to go.
And of course, during restaurant week, we want you to go to the Pine Barn for this.
We do, and we serve it. We serve it as a single piece, and believe it or not, some people will order a double piece, and they'll get this other
Look
piece
at that.
right on top.
Wow.
Now you're eating 12 ounces of tuna, so you're a hungry boy, as we like to say. But it
That'd
is
be me.
Tom.
That'd
it
be
is
me.
available.
Tom's the hungry guy.
Looks great, Norman.
So now,
Okay.
the Pine Barn, though, we have to touch on it, especially because it is restaurant week. You have
Right.
quite the extensive menu.
We do. We offer at all times with lunch and dinner. We offer full dinner portions. We also have salads and sandwiches available and appetizers. This time of year during restaurant week, people love to come into our tavern where we have a real wood fireplace burning. It's the most popular part of the restaurant. And we're open 7 days a week, and this dish is available at dinner times. Not available at lunch, but it's available at
I know
at
one
dinner
of
time.
my family's favorite things is actually to come over for breakfast or brunch.
Right.
Because you make an excellent eggs Benedict.
Well, thank you. It
You're
is-
very
It is one of our
welcome.
most popular, and we serve breakfast 7 days a week. Open at 7 o'clock Monday through Friday and 8 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday.
And then just really quickly, I know that outside of the restaurant, because you're the general manager,
Right.
you also have conference and banquet facilities available. There is the hotel portion. If people are interested in that type of stuff from the Pine Barn, where can they get more information, or do they call and speak to you?
Well, no, they won't call and speak to me,
Okay.
but we have 99 rooms and our now 6-year-old One Pine Barn Plus Place banquet hall, and you would call our sales department, and if you call the main line, 570-275-2071, they can direct you to the person that you would deal with, because we have a different person that handles weddings as opposed that handles conferences.
Oh, okay.
So you have to call and they'll direct you to the right
So
person.
really, you're a one-stop shop for a great evening out, or a special occasion, or a large function like a wedding.
Or all of them.
All of the above. Let's do all of the above.
We'd love to have you
Perfect.
for any of them.
Well, I'm ready to try this. Are you guys? Can we take a little taste then?
Sure,
All right, let's
absolutely.
go. Let's
Okay.
put this over here.
All right, the best part.
Best
of
part.
Restaurant week and
Is this?
Yeah, exactly.
The food.
Norman, we now get to try
Well,
this delicious
I hope
dish.
you enjoy. I hope you enjoy.
I'm gonna fight you for it, Tom.
And while you're eating, I'll talk a little bit about Restaurant Week at the Pine Barn, where
That
we'll
would
be
be great.
offering special menu. During March, we traditionally have an Irish-themed special menu, and during that time, we'll be offering an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a dessert to share at a special price. Now, the different entrees will be at a slightly different price. So, but those items will be available along with items that are on our regular menu that will also be available. A list of items that will be available for that deal for you to enjoy. So it's a great way to come out to restaurants that maybe you haven't experienced in the past, and it's going to be a little bit of a good deal and a good time. So it's really been to Restaurant Week in many towns over the years, and it's always a great time. So I hope you'll come out and support this, because the restaurants are really, really hoping, putting this together, and hoping you'll come try that place that maybe you don't try on a regular basis and give something new a try.
Now, my favorite part of a great meal is the beverage that's going to team up with it. And we have teamed up with Old Forge Brewing this time around. And we're going to find something to go with this tuna.
I feel like this beer is a little bit different than like a lager.
It's not your normal American lager. It is definitely a sour beer,
Okay.
Which has a real tartness to it. It's traditional German style. It's called the Goza.
Okay. All right. So Jace is joining us from Old Forge Brewing Company, which is located in Danville. So a Goza beer. What makes it sour?
They add actually a bacteria to it
Okay.
that produces that. Some people would say it's an off flavor, but other people really crave it.
Interesting.
And then they finish it with pink Himalayan sea salt and fresh ground coriander.
Oh, all right. So should we crack it open and
Sure.
pour? Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You can smell it already. It's got that sour tartness to it.
Oh, it does. So now, how does this pair with the Ahi Tuna? What are the flavors that we're supposed to be tasting in this beer?
Well, the acidity of the beer will pull out the flavors of the any seafood.
Okay.
Kind of. So, hoping that it pairs really nice with that.
Awesome.
All right.
Should we try?
Sure.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love sour beer. Get out and eat out for Restaurant Week, especially at the Pine Barn, Old Forge, and any one of the 28 restaurants who are participating in Columbia and Montour counties.
For
Jace,
more info,
iTour, ColumbiaMontour.com. I'm gonna drink this beer.
we've been sampling some great food in this series, and we've been pairing up some great beverages with that great food, all to celebrate Restaurant Week. Now we have Rock God Brewing out of Danville with us, Laura.
I'm so
Oh,
excited.
this is the Rock thing? Rock, okay.
Have you seen their logo? It's the best. So
We
are
have Ben and
joined-
Gary.
Yes, Ben and Gary from Rock God Brewery. And let's get right to the tasting. What are we trying today, guys?
Our Belgian Pilsner.
One of my faves.
All right.
Let's pour it up. Tell us a little bit about this beer, though, because I've had it and it's one of my faves. I always take it home in one of the little mini growlers that you guys have. But what flavor notes can we expect from this beer?
Like a typical Belgian, you get your fruity notes out of it. We made this beer for the person that's afraid of craft beers.
Oh, that would be me.
There it is.
So you got to get people introduced into the world of craft beer. So said it's a basic Pilsner with a little Belgian twist to it.
And then if we're pairing it with something like an Ahi Tuna, which has almost an Asian flavor inspiration, this would go pretty well, right? Okay, great. Should we just try?
Sure.
Let's do it. Cheers. I know what it tastes like, and it tastes like deliciousness.
I know what it tastes like too, but it is delicious. And we should note that the beers have rock and roll theme names in occasions, like Double Vision and that kind of thing. But the beers are always changing too, so you should always come back to Rock God, because the beer we're talking about one day might be off and something new could be coming.
With as small as we are, we have a pretty good thing going on that we can keep changing beers up.
Right. And come March, Restaurant Week, stop by Rock God.
So you have limited hours, but for Restaurant Week, you've been slowly expanding. So what can we expect from you guys in 2018?
2018, we do food trucks. Right, we don't have a restaurant, so we do food trucks. We try and get them in there as regular as we can. That way, our cuisine changes on a weekly basis. You can always expect something different.
And we look at expanding some outdoor seating for this spring as well.
Perfect. So for people who haven't visited you, when can they visit you? What are your hours?
We're open Wednesday through Saturday, usually 3:30 to 9 during the week. Fridays we're open, and Saturdays we're open till 11, and Saturdays we open at 1.
And a great opportunity, I think, to come out and try you guys if you haven't before. Restaurant Week, right?
Yep.
Right.
Do you have any specials going on or anything that we can mention for folks who are thinking about maybe going for dinner, food truck stuff? Where should they find information on what type of food you're going to have?
You can check us out on Facebook. Look us up as Rock God Brewing Company. We also have a website, rockgodbeer.com. You can always see our beer list and upcoming events on there.
And again, that's Friday, the 16th of March through the 24th, iTourColumbiaMontour.com to find out about Rock God Brewing Company in Danville and all of the other 28 participating restaurants of Restaurant Week this year.